had some problems with the voicing because I was just practicing on a very loud piano. So this one is a bit more muted. So I lost a lot of the top notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. What do you think you could do to make the voicing different?
Well, I think I need to shift my weight a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the difficulty of this is trying to, keep the harp part relaxed and very soft and lean into the top notes. So I was nervous and sort of scrambling for the harp notes, which distracts from, what you should be doing with the main line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, since you bring that up, let's give it a redo and see what you can feel differently.
Okay.
Still nervous.
Still nervous. Okay, fair. Okay, so right there, let me ask you, how much of your shoulder are you aware of right now?
Not aware.
Okay, so let's just do a little shoulder roll. We can all do this together. Very, very slowly. So slowly that you can really feel where your muscles are. So is that as high as you can go? Oh, great. Okay, let's do a third circle and go even further forward. Will it allow you to go further in like this? Like forward as in like way ahead of your body? And can you go up like to your ears? And can you go all the way behind you so you're feeling your wings in your shoulder blades? Can you feel your wings? Okay. Now imagine you're doing that underwater. So with absolutely no effort, you're going to retrace that circle, a really big circle, but no effort at all. Okay, so forward, just be floating in the water and float it up. How far can you go and let it float with no effort, and then go behind and feel it come down with no effort. Now when you translate that in this piece, see if you can feel the freedom up here and play it as if you're underwater, the bottom of the ocean. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
So his bass didn't come out and he micro adjusted. That was fantastic. Are you comfortable if I tap your shoulder while you're doing this? So we're going to do it again and see if you can keep loosening up this part so that this feels more watery. And so we're talking about not the outer pinkies, but everything else. It's emerging out of the ocean. It's fantastic. How do you like that sound?
I like it, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, now, I wouldn't mind if you had more weight on your left pinky. We're always adjusting to the piano that we have, and on this piano, I think you can give more. Yeah. Okay. Now, how are you feeling about your breath?
Not aware.
Okay. I think now that you've loosened up your shoulder, we can add loosening up on the inside as well. And so the breathing is not up here. The breathing is more down here, and it's like the entire torso is a balloon. So let's be that octopus. We've got no bones. We are totally flexible, and we're just sensing where is the breath. And if you can move on the inside and the outside, then there are no restrictions in what you can do. Okay, so let's try that again. And I'm going to say inhale, exhale as I'm tapping. Okay, is that too much?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So the thing is, don't think at all. You can close down your thoughts, and this is more just being mindful of the breath this time. You got spontaneous clapping over there.
Oh yeah, you mentioned it really brought the tone of the piano out. You could just roll it.
Particularly the beginning part of that, as when we got louder, he lost a little bit.
No, it was wonderful.
Yeah. Now the most magical thing about breath is it makes us listen better. It frees us up when we're not bracing, when we're not holding our breath, to pay more attention. That's really a big part of breathing. So we're going to do it one more time now, and I'm going to invite this part of your hand, everything except your pinkies, to feel like it's transparent. So not only is it free floating in the water, but it's transparent. Like, you know, those amoeba things that we used to look at under the microscope. It's barely there. Okay, the only thing that is real are your pinkies. Okay, let's do everything exactly what we did. Doesn't matter if you play a wrong note because we're exploring new things, so it's going to be part of the game. Great. Okay. How did that feel?
I like the breathing the
Why don't you
most.
say it?
I like the breathing the most. I thought that was most aligned with the music, and that really helped. Yeah.
Could you feel that your voicing was better this time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And could you feel that your bass is starting to come out?
I'm not as aware of the bass, but I'd like to be more aware of the bass because he has these, bigger notes where he wants some emphasis and anchoring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to modulate between the little ones and the big ones.
Right. Okay. So we're going to do it one last time. And this time, we're going to think about the pedal. You do not need to go all the way down, and you can choose how you change the pedal. Sometimes when you are changing the pedal, it is not coming up all the way. And every pedal feels different mechanically. So we have to play by ear because we're always using a different instrument. But if you can be aware of where it was muddy, then you can really control and adjust. And we're always adapting. So this time, let's focus just on the pedal.
Do you suggest following the markings or ignore the markings?
You can follow the markings. Yeah, that's fine.
But you're saying adjust how far up or down?
Yeah, what's the depth?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the speed of change? Because the markings only tell you a little bit. But then the nuances are up to you as the performer. And you have to adjust according to the piano in the room. Okay. We can't really adjust the pedal until the bass feels really secure, and I feel like your bass is kind of up in the air. So feel this motion all the time. Change. What if you only press the pedal down halfway? What would that do?
It's a little bit cleaner. You can hear the articulation of the notes a little bit more. But I don't know how to try it.
Yeah, you can play around with it. The important thing is to differentiate different colors. You don't have to decide what you're going to do right now. You just have to know that there are different options. Before, I felt like everything was with one kind of muddiness. But if you wanted that as a special effect, the time before or the time after can be lighter. Also, just make sure that the A flats, even though your bass note is the same, you still have to keep that sound in our ear. So you don't want to just stop giving it to us. Do you know what I mean? Like, look at how many A flats in a row there are. It kind of disappears. And we don't want it to completely disappear. We want the color to be there. Okay. Now, let's go to a different topic. How many phrases are in this piece?
How
many different kinds of phrases, or how many total phrases?
Total. How many phrases are you playing?
I try to play, this is aspiration, but I try to play the phrases as long as possible. The line, have the line be as long as possible. So as few phrases as possible.
Well,
Maybe 12, 15, 16, I don't know. I haven't counted.
Can you bring it down to 5?
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about it, but...
Where do you guys think the second phrase starts?
When it repeats the melody.
Second
Yes.
page.
Or the first page in our editions,
Yeah.
the first page, fourth line. Everybody see that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you think the third phrase starts?
Book, it's measure 15, where, there's a little bit of development and a duet,
Can you play the melody for us? Yes, no. So let's stop right there,
Mhm.
because what you just played was a cadence.
Mhm.
Do you hear that?
Mhm.
You played a 5/1 cadence. That is almost never the beginning of a phrase unless it's a special effect.
So that counts as the end of this.
I think that's the
section.
end. Yeah, I think that's the end. So let me ask you again, where do you think the next phrase starts?
So then we're on to this build up on measure 17.
Yeah, everybody see that? For our edition, it's the second page, which is page 3, line 3. Yeah. So that is your third phrase. How about the fourth phrase?
I'm not sure, but something different happens at measure 22.
Yes. Yes. So where you just hit the forte, something changes there. Yeah? And the stuff before that is a transitional material.
Right.
We're searching. Therefore, I think that you are really tuned into endings, and I'm asking about beginnings.
Beginnings.
Right. Okay. So I would say that the forte, which is our page 4 on the top, line 1, that forte would be the 4th phrase. Yes. Yes. So that's a structural downbeat. That's a very important moment to feel. Where's the 5th? Anybody?
You said there were only 5, so so I guess we're going to the end here when the main theme repeats after the big crescendo.
Go ahead. Can you play it for us?
The 5th.
Yeah. Do you guys see that? So that is our page 4, the last bar. Okay. Now, what is the dynamic shape of these 5 phrases in a row? So we're going to say number 1 is what? Phrase number 1 is what in your head? Are you doing a true piano? Is that how you're thinking it?
Well, I sort of feel like the way this is now cut out into 5, that's very good. 5. Each of the 5 has a little development in it, a bit of a crescendo in it, but they vary in terms of how big. So there is this nice part where the ending of that on the first. So I tried to get a little volume there.
Okay, so let me rephrase my question. I'm just talking about zooming out. If you were in outer space and looking at the score, how would you compare the 5?
So I think
but you don't have to ever negate the nuances or the special moments.
So I think there's a build-up of 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then it comes down at 5.
Okay, so do you think that 2 is bigger than 1?
Not necessarily. 2 has some kind of interesting elements to it, and I think this little duet part in the middle where the left hand is carrying a line. That part has I try to get a little volume there as well.
Well, okay, so now looking at the small waves,
but
comparing,
generally,
generally,
not very big. Not very big.
Which is bigger, 1 or 2?
Never thought about that. Maybe 1, just because it's announcing the song, as it were, and the second is kind of like a variation, a little bit. So, I think in my mind, the variation is a little more muted.
Great. And what happens with 3? More or less?
3 is a little bit more.
Why?
I don't know. There's just there's a little more drama and a little bit more build-up. There's a bit of a more reaching a peak, I guess.
Where is the peak?
I think of it as bar 20 as the peak. And then 20.
Play that for us?
Let's see. It'll be. There's a bit of a retreat afterwards.
Okay.
At least that's how I think about it.
Okay. I'm pushing you, since you are so capable, I'm pushing you in the question I'm asking. I'm giving you.
I'm making this all up, so.
I'm giving you an advanced question, and I think you're doing a great job of avoiding my question. Because what I'm asking is hard. I'm asking you to look at it as a block, and instead of telling me all the details in the block, to compare block to block to block, right? And I haven't really heard your reasoning for why 3 is big. You've told me that 4 is big,
Yeah.
but you haven't told me why you think 3 is also bigger.
Well, I was mistaken. I thought 3 was 4, but now I see 4 is the bigger one. 3, I think, isn't necessarily big. It isn't necessarily bigger than 1.
But is it less than 1?
At the level? Probably not. Probably not.
It's not as big.
I don't think so, because I think this kind of little rumbling in the middle here is just kind of for interest, but it's not really carrying the main song.
Right?
It's to keep things interesting.
Okay, so the harder question is, which is bigger, 2 or 3? You know that was coming, right? That's the next question.
So I would have to say 2 is probably bigger.